Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the nitty-gritties of corporate filings and try not to get lost in the jargon. You might want to buckle up because today we're looking at INVO Fertility Incorporated, and their latest report has quite the story to tell, especially when it comes to expanding their reach. Before we dive in, if you enjoy getting straight answers from complex corporate documents, make sure you subscribe. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord, linked in the description below, where we break down these reports even further. Alright, let's cut to the chase. This isn't a quarterly report, but an 8K filing. Think of it as a company announcing something significant that happened between their regular reports. And for INVO Fertility Incorporated, that significant event is a major acquisition. The big news is that INVO Fertility, through a subsidiary, has entered into an asset purchase agreement to acquire a fertility clinic. Now, this isn't just any clinic, it is described as a fertility clinic in Indianapolis, Indiana. The purchase price is set at a cool $750,000. So INVO Centers LLC, that is the buyer, is shelling out $350,000 in cash. But that is not all. They're also giving the sellers $400,000 worth of the company's preferred stock, specifically called Series D non-voting convertible preferred stock. That means this stock can be converted into regular common stock later on, which is a common strategy to preserve cash flow while still offering value to the sellers. The sellers here are Family Beginnings PC and a key figure, James Donahue MD, who is essentially the owner of the clinic, its primary physician, and the medical and lab director. He's agreed to a pretty standard 5-year non-compete and non-solicitation agreement, meaning he can't set up a competing clinic or poach patients or staff for a good chunk of time after the deal closes. This is all about INVO wanting to ensure they get the full benefit of this acquisition without immediate competition from the previous owner. What exactly are they buying? Well, it is the non-clinical assets of this clinic. That means things like equipment, inventory, and potentially goodwill. But importantly, not the clinical assets like patient records, contracts with insurance providers, or their operating permits. Those clinical assets are being handled separately by a new entity, a Florida professional association called Fertility PAR, which will then enter into a management services agreement with INVO Centers LLC. Essentially, INVO will handle the business side of things, while the new PAR employing Dr. Donahue will handle the actual medical treatments. This structure is often used to navigate regulations around healthcare, especially physician ownership. The clinic itself offers a full suite of fertility services, from in vitro fertilization and in vitro culture to insemination, fertility preservation, and advanced diagnostic testing. It seems like INVO is aiming to expand its direct patient care footprint, which makes sense given their business. Now, like almost all deals, this one has conditions. For instance, if the deal doesn't close by the 27th of February of next year, the agreement automatically terminates unless both sides agree to extend it. There is also a little sweetener in there. If the closing happens after the 31st of January 2026, the cash portion of the payment goes up by $10,000. It is a small nudge to encourage a timely closing. The company is located in Sarasota, Florida, and they are incorporated in Nevada. This is pretty standard for many businesses. Their stock is traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol IFEF. Notice the trading symbol, it is a pretty direct nod to their industry, which is often a good sign of a focused business. This agreement was signed on the 15th of December 2025, and the company put out a press release about it a couple of days later on the 17th of December. And of course, they've included the actual asset purchase agreement as an exhibit along with the press release. This is all standard procedure for an 8K. So what is the story here? INVO Fertility is clearly executing a growth strategy focused on expansion, specifically by acquiring existing operational clinics. This isn't about building from scratch, it is about integration. They are buying a revenue stream, a patient base, and established operations. The structure with the separate clinical asset purchase and management services agreement is interesting. It allows INVO to control the business operations and potentially roll up multiple clinics under a unified management structure without directly employing all the physicians, which can be a complex regulatory area. The two key numbers to focus on, even though there are no major financial tables in this specific filing, are the total purchase price of $750,000. This is a relatively modest amount for acquiring a clinic with an established business, suggesting they might be acquiring specific assets rather than the entire entity, including all liabilities. The breakdown of $350,000 cash and $400,000 in stock is also important. It shows they are preserving cash while still offering significant equity upside to the seller. This is a smart move for a growing company that might want to keep its powder dry for further expansion or operational investments. Looking at this acquisition, It signals a strategic move to gain market share and operational capacity. The key risks here will be the integration process. Can INVO effectively merge the operations of this new clinic with their existing structure? Will the physician employment agreement with Dr. Donahue be robust enough to retain his expertise and patient goodwill? Also, the deferred closing and the potential for price adjustments means there is still some uncertainty. The success of this deal will depend heavily on how smoothly the transition of non-clinical assets goes and how well the new operating structure performs. Overall, this acquisition appears to be a calculated step for INVO Fertility to grow its physical presence and service offerings. It's a solid move to capture more of the fertility market. Alright, that is our breakdown of INVO Fertility's latest filing. What is your take on this acquisition strategy? Do you think this move will pay off for them in the long run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community. It is linked in the description for even more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.